May the shadows crush you!
Stand aside. I'm gonna wipe them from the face of the earth.
The trail goes this way. made of? My armor is broken. Here.
Fliehend wench at votre avis.
May the shadows crush you! Armor is completely ruined!
We serve the gods.
My armor is broken. Here. what we're made of!
Water!
made of? My armor is...
My armor is completely ruined!
There you are. Any news? Preparations are underway on my side, but without your help.
We discovered that the emissary has a hideout outside the city where she carried out business deals. She had documents there proving beyond doubt that she was behind the whole thing.
I suspected as much. But why would she do that?
So that the Nords would have no sympathy for my people. That they would think we are savages, and would have no second thoughts about participating in our destruction.
It's horrifying, and I'm furious at the idea that someone could have tried to manipulate our people in this way. This emissary won't get away with it, I promise.
We think we're ready for the trial.
I think we have more than enough to clear you. Remember to give me all the documents I'll need to show, as well as the names of the witnesses, and we can go. Don't forget that during the trial, it will be up to you to tell me who to call and what to share.
Defendants, take your seats. The trial is about to begin. We are gathered here before Admirals Cabral and Barcelos. I shall be representing the inhabitants of this island. Our aim is to clarify the events that took place in front of the Ink Mistress's workshop, which led to the deaths of several of the Bridge Alliance emissaries' escorts. The emissary will represent the prosecution. Is the emissary here and ready to present her arguments?
I am. And I will prove, beyond the shadow of a doubt, that these savages murdered my escort and brought chaos to this island.
The defendants are Captain Alvida and the group of foreigners who are her guests. They are represented by the master of the shipyard.
We are also ready.
Very well. The prosecution has the floor.
Your honors, Nords, I come here to seek justice for the lives of my men who were murdered on your streets. And I will prove to you that these savages are the killers.
Please explain how your men ended up in this part of town, when they were supposed to be part of your escort.
I'd given them the afternoon off, so I assume they were sightseeing. That's when they were attacked by these islanders and their companions.
Why would they do that?
Because they're savages. Ever since my people first set foot on Tir Fridi, we witnessed nothing but savagery. They constantly reject any form of progress. They kill people, massacre them if need be, and then pass themselves off as victims. They lure far more sophisticated people into their nets and make them pay for their crimes. Which explains why these eminent representatives of other peoples from the continent, as well as Captain Alvida, are here.
This whole speech sounds like an indictment, but you haven't provided any evidence.
This is true. Do you have any evidence or witnesses to call?
I do. I call Longshoreman Duarte to the stand.
Well, where is your witness, emissary?
I don't have the slightest idea.
You're wasting our time, emissary. Do you have any other witnesses?
I'll call the head guard.
The head guard didn't show up until after the fight.
Don't worry. We can cross-examine him if you wish.
Very well. Can you tell us what you witnessed that day?
We were on patrol in the neighborhood, and a longshoreman came to tell us that some savages had attacked a group of Alliance foreigners. We got there as quickly as we could, but by the time we arrived, the savages were putting away their weapons and the others were lying dead on the ground.
Is there any way they could have just been passing by and had drawn their weapons to assist my men?
No, they were covered in the men's blood, and we saw them finish off the last one as we approached. I'm sorry. I wish we'd gotten there sooner. We could have saved your men.
You did your duty. What could you have possibly done in the face of such savagery? What happened next?
We wanted to arrest them, but the master of the shipyard intervened and reminded us that we could only arrest the captain.
A law that's difficult to swallow when it's obvious that the ones it benefits are the true culprits, and the innocent must shoulder the burden of their crimes.
In the context of this court, you will abstain from criticizing our laws, emissary.
Of course, forgive me. I have no further questions for this witness.
Does the defense wish to question the witness?
Ask him if he can confirm who started the attack.
According to your own testimony, you did not witness the attack, yet you arrested the captain.
Well, those men have been killed, and it was obvious that the captain and her friends were responsible for their deaths.
Really? Would the scene you discovered have been different if these people were the victims of a vicious attack and were only defending themselves?
I suppose the scene would have been the same, yes. But the longshoreman?
Since the longshoreman isn't here, what he told you can't be trusted. What was the first thing the defendants said to you when you tried to arrest them?
They were only defending themselves.
Thank you. I have no further questions.
Now that the prosecution has presented its evidence and witnesses, it's time for the defense to present its case.
It's our turn now. What would you like us to present first? I call the Ink Mistress to the stand. Can you tell us what happened during the attack in front of your workshop?
I was inside my workshop at the time of the attack, and unfortunately, I didn't see the fight.
That's a very useful testimony.
The prosecution will refrain from commenting until the floor is opened. Continue, Mistress.
I didn't see anything, but I did hear what happened. I clearly heard someone shouting something before the fighting started.
Can you tell us what was shouted?
Not entirely, but I distinctly heard the words savage and traitor.
It was the native who was shouting as she threw herself at my men.
No, I didn't recognize the voice. It wasn't any of the defendants. It was a different voice. What's more, I'd like to add that the defendants were thoughtful, not the savages they've been made out to be.
Thank you, Mistress. It seems clear that the attack was preceded by insults that were proffered by the emissary's men. This contradicts her version of the events.
I don't believe a word of it.
Madam, we have tolerated your repeated interruptions, despite our requests to respect the protocol. But we will not tolerate you questioning the word of an eminent figure on our island. Does the prosecution have any questions for this witness?
No, I have no questions for the venerable mistress.
Would you like to call Silvio the carpenter to testify?
I'm not sure it's a good idea, but I'll let you decide.
I don't know this island well enough. So, I'll take Alvida's advice. We'd better not call him to the stand.
Although his testimony is the most complete, I agree with you.
Does the defense have any other witnesses to call?
I was thinking of calling Alvida to the stand. You were all witnesses, but her word carries more weight here than yours. What do you think?
Call Alvida. She can testify for us all.
I'm more than willing to answer your questions, and those of this snake.
I call the defendant, Captain Alvida, to the stand. Can you introduce yourself and tell us what happened that day, in your own words?
My name is Captain Alvida. I had just received my new ink when it happened.
Can you remind the court of what you did to earn this new rank?
I sailed from the coast of Tynea to Yaxantis in a fisherman's skiff.
A true feat. Please continue.
We barely set foot outside the Ink Mistress's shop when a group of Alliance men approached. One of them shouted at us that we were savages and traitors to our people, and that they were going to show us our true place. Then they attacked us. Fortunately, we were able to defeat them. It was only then that the head guard arrived. He wanted to arrest everyone, and you stopped him. So, I was the only one who was taken to jail, since my friends here were my guests.
Thank you, Captain. I have no further questions.
Does the prosecution have any questions for this witness?
Of course. Captain, are you sure your savage friend here didn't attack my men before you had time to see it? You wouldn't be the first person to trust in these animals and be betrayed by them.
I'm absolutely certain that the events took place just as I described them. And please don't compare my friend to an animal.
Then how do you explain that a Naut longshoreman alerted the head guard and pointed you out as the attackers?
The only explanation is that he was lying.
And who's to say you're not the one who's lying? Your hands are red with the blood of my men.
Emissary, please control yourself. If you show disrespect to the witness again, we will put an end to this trial immediately.
Please, forgive me. I have no further questions.
Master, we have no further witnesses.
We shall now proceed to show our evidence.
We would now like to present some evidence that has come to light in the course of our investigation.
Evidence? Evidence of what?
Emissary, the defense has the floor. Please allow the master of the shipyard to present his case.
I have here a document signed by this very emissary, which mentions an agreement with a certain Duarte, who works as a longshoreman. The document states that this man is to alert the head guard that an attack is taking place against the Alliance's men. It also states that he will have to testify before this court and specifically identify the natives from Tir Fredi as being behind the attack. The reward for this service is a very substantial sum of money.
It must be a forgery. A forgery created by the defendants to escape a fair punishment.
As our master librarian is a handwriting specialist, I suggest that he examine this contract and give us his expert opinion on the matter.
I will look into this during the deliberations. Have you found any other evidence?
We would like to present this report, which was found in a hideout, where this very emissary was participating in suspicious activities.
How dare you? What kind of scandalous accusation is that?
Explain yourself, Master of the Shipyard. It is highly unusual to describe the person representing the prosecution in this manner.
How else can I describe the activities that required the emissary to travel to an obscure cabin in the inland territory? Not to mention the fact that this report describes these activities in great detail.
Lies, lies, and more lies. An outrageous forgery.
Let the defense continue.
The emissary and her men were obviously making deals with some of our more law-averse Nauts to smuggle contraband.
For shame. Master, I'm counting on you to give us these documents so that we can find the culprits.
Yes. We won't let a few bad apples spoil the guild's reputation.
And just how did you find this obviously forged report?
You may ask your questions when the defense has finished. Carry on, Master of the Shipyard.
In addition to the highly instructive explanations of their smuggling activities, these documents also include a very important element that is of interest in these proceedings. The attack is clearly planned out in detail. The head guard was to be alerted as soon as it took place. If the Alliance men were able to kill the natives, the captain and her companions, Then the testimony of the longshoreman and the head guard was to have cleared them of any suspicion. If not, well, we've all seen how the rest of the plan was to play out.
Nonsense! This is unacceptable.
Why would the emissary have planned such a dire scheme that would surely put the lives of her men at risk?
The report is very clear on this point. The aim was to decidedly tarnish the natives' reputation in our eyes. Some are starting to raise their voices here against what's happening in Tir Freddy, especially concerning the deportation of the natives. If we all thought the natives were savages and beasts, we'd have fewer scruples about dealing with them, wouldn't we?
That's exactly what they are!
That's
Animals.
enough, ma'am! How dare you!
We will study this report carefully. And if it proves to be true, you'll be the one to answer for it.
Master, do you have any further evidence to submit?
No, we have nothing further to present to the court.
We have nothing more to add.
The defense has presented all of its evidence, and will now defer to the council's judgment.
In that case, we will now take leave to deliberate.
Can't I plead my case?
If you were hoping to make a case for your ideas, you should know that's not how things work around here. The witnesses and the evidence are presented, and anyone can examine and refute them, but the final decision is the council's. We'll return once a unanimous decision has been made. The council has come to a decision, and I'll let Admiral Cabral announce the verdict.
Given the evidence that was presented, we have come to the conclusion that the defendants are innocent.
This is a travesty!
Silence. We don't have enough evidence to prove your responsibility in this tragic affair. However, we shall keep a close eye on you from now on, so you'll have a Nort escort with you at all times. I advise you to finish your business here quickly and return to Tynea as soon as possible. And don't even think about troubling our exonerated guests again.
The council has ruled, and the court is adjourned.
You're free, and may do as you please until you're ready to board your ship, Captain. Despite the trial, I've had the shipyard working on it, and it'll be ready to sail with the tide tomorrow.
Captain, I know what you think of me, what everyone thinks of me. But could I have a word with you?
What is it?
I hear you're looking for your mother's logbook. I know where it is.
Is that so? How could you possibly know that?
I'll tell you when the time comes, but not here. Meet me at the tavern when you're done.
I don't trust you, Silvio, but I'll come. It would be wrong not to hear you out at least once. Thank you. Thank you for getting me out of there. I'm sorry that even here, you've once again been victim to the Alliance's evil schemes. But I'll get you home. I swore I would do it, and I shall. Tomorrow, we'll have a ship. And even if I can't take you to Tier 4D straight away, it's a first step.
Why do we not leave now? You say you want to take us home, but in the next breath, you tell us we have to wait.
Because this kind of expedition is incredibly expensive. Sailing to Tier 4D takes months and costs a fortune. You're going to need a protector. A patron. But don't look at me. I don't have a coin to my name. My family does, though.
I know someone who wants to go home, too.
Not in the least. I'm very happy to be here with you. You're far less dangerous than my uncle.
We can choose our destination once we're aboard the ship. In the meantime, we can take a break at the tavern, or go for a walk. Anything you like. As long as there are no bars on the windows.
Wait. I'm sorry. I overheard your conversation. I'd like to accompany you. Even if I have to wait, I'd like to go to Tier 4D with you.
There are enough of your people on our island already.
And you can surely find another ship. The Alliance regularly funds crossings to Hikmet.
That's true. I could probably find backing for a map-making mission, but I'd have to make compromises I'm not willing to make with people I despise. Please, let me prove that not all of my people are manipulators and forces of destruction.
She did warn us and helped us with the framing. And having an ally in the Alliance could be useful.
The best I can do is to offer to let you come aboard my ship. Whether or not you can be a part of our group is a decision that's for the others to make.
If we keep this up, I'll end up becoming a real specialist in escaping prison by any means possible. That being said, I'm really glad that we got my dear Alvida out of this jail.
You called Alvida a good friend. However, did the diplomat on the note become close?
I met Alvida when she was a sailor on the ship that took me to Elima. We hit it off quickly, even though it may be hard to believe when you look at me today. I was a little nervous at the idea of being all alone in a foreign country. She introduced me to the beauty of travel and discovery. We met again in Elima later, when she was visiting. During one of our last encounters, she helped me out of a tricky situation, even though she didn't have to. It was the first time someone had done something for me without expecting anything in return. That's rare, especially when you're a Devesp. My, just listen to me, getting all sentimental. The reason doesn't matter much in the end. We're friends, that's all.
Goodbye.
See you later, darling.
Alvida left for the port at dawn. She couldn't wait to set foot aboard her new ship. Are we going to meet her?
you are. I'm happy to see you out of that courtroom and cleared of those ridiculous accusations. Captain Alvida has already returned to her ship and is busy preparing for your journey. When you're ready, just say the word and we'll take you aboard too.
We're ready.
In that case, climb into this boat and it will take you aboard. Godspeed.
Well, what do you think of my ship? It's quite the change from that old skiff. This one even has a cabin.
Yes, it is a fine vessel. But when will you take us back?
As soon as I can pay the crew and stock the old with food for the trip.
My family would certainly be able to finance the journey, especially since it would be an opportunity for them to compete with the Dorsays. They're a rival family who rule over the cities of Serene and New Serene. Come to think of it, they too could finance our trip, I suppose. They certainly have the means.
That would entail going to Peren, wouldn't it? I wouldn't mind going there too. There's someone there I need to see.
Really? Someone from Teleme, I presume?
Yes, a man of the cloth who might be able to help me get home. A certain Father Cardinal Pius.
I've heard of him. A charming old man who lives like a monk, I believe.
Yes, he's a priest and the Teleme ambassador. He can help me get home, but his influence could also be useful in getting your expedition financed.
Yes, I've heard of him. Well, having the backing of influential people is rarely a bad thing. My family is going to be thrilled when they hear about my exploits in Alima.
As for me, I'd like to go back to Iskiara. We left behind a giant, rampaging creature, and I hate to think what might happen to the locals and my companions. We can't just leave this beast to wander around. We have to find out what happened after our timely getaway. And since it's not possible to dock in Dooten, this will bring me as close as possible.
That's a lot of destinations to choose from. We'll have to choose just one. So, where are we headed?
Excellent timing. I was just thinking about you. I wanted to ask you something.
What the...
I suppose you haven't forgotten our memorable encounter with my nephew Rudolph? It so happens that I've just received a message. It appears to have been written by a servant who accuses me of being responsible for the disappearance of his mistress, a merchant from the congregation. He says that she was lured to a meeting by my nephew in the course of the various threats of torture and accusations he makes. It emerges that I'm worried about him. We don't have a good relationship, but it's all my fault. I could take care of it myself. But I'm afraid I wouldn't be thinking clearly because it involves my family. Would you help me find my nephew?
I understand why you're worried. Let's try to find out what happened to your nephew.
What is it?
See you later.
Of course.
I know you already have a lot to do, but I would still like to ask a favor, if you could...
It's not really the moment. We'll see what we can do later.
Of course. There's no...
I've seen you use rifles like the people in the Alliance. They are powerful weapons, and I'd like to know how to use them.
You young people are all the same. Always curious and eager to acquire new skills. I'll show you the fundamentals, so you could use them without hurting yourself. Well, what do you think?
It wasn't as hard as it seemed. Bye.
See you.
I imagine that there are more urgent matters than visiting the man I spoke of. That said, I need to inform him of all that we have witnessed. Kernaz is rough. He will know what to do to put an end to it. And he is also a close relation of the de Vespe family. He could certainly help us
We'll go to Peren soon enough, and we will be sure to meet him.
If you end up
Of course. The magic that you're using is different from ours. Do you?
I admit that I never thought of... Of course, there is special training required to wield the rings. But you need to possess the gift, and your faith is so But who am I to question what the Divine intends for? It's incredible. May the Enlightened forgive me. But I would have never thought that a native not of our faith could be so gifted in our magic. Of course, you'll need to continue practicing in order to progress.
Thank you, Faust. I must leave.
See you later.
man sitting at that table is probably the man who delivered the letter to me.
You? You're here? I suppose you're hoping to silence me. And to think my poor mistress was delighted to make your acquaintance. If only she'd known what a monster you are. You and your whole family of criminals. I will not be intimidated. I will find her, whatever it takes.
I don't understand a single thing you've said. Explain yourself. That's all I'm asking.
Yes, play the fool. I know you're to blame for what happened to her, and I'll prove it. I'll have you hanged.
You're not the first to promise me that. Now stop this childishness and tell us what happened. We can help you find your mistress.
You keep playing your little game, but you won't fool me. We'd only been here a few days when she told me to stay in her room here at the inn because she was going to meet you. She was so happy to have been contacted by your nephew, who had promised a meeting with you at the docks. She could already see herself doing business in Dutton with your help. But she never came back. And when I went looking for her and mentioned your nephew, I was told that he was missing too. So don't tell me you had nothing to do with it.
I never arranged any meeting with your mistress. I can assure you of that. My nephew must have used my name to secure the meeting.
You're nothing but a family of criminals. That's what you are. I've had enough of your lies. But I won't give up. I'll find her.
The woman must have received a message telling her to meet someone. If we search her room, we'll probably find it. I know you already have a lot to do, but I would still like to ask a favor, if you can...
It's not really the moment.
Of course. There's no...
Bye.
See you.
Thank you for coming to see me, Vridengar. We need to talk about... I want to find the Black Alks. We need to make sure they're okay. That woman is out. Please help me find her.
Of course. I'll do everything I can to find them.
Finish what you have to do. Then come back and see.
See you later.
Boy.
We need a key to open this door. Ugh, I can't do it. Ugh, I can't do it. I don't have the key.
Welcome to the Fishing Mermaid. What?
We're looking for a merchant from the congregation. We were told she was staying here while she...
Yes, Lady Michelle.
Can you tell us which room she's...
The one facing the stairs, but don't bother going there. As of...
Could you give us the key to her room?
That's out of the question. Just where do you think you are? The lady. Would you like anything else?
Thank you. Goodbye.
Come back soon. Welcome to the fish...
Thank you.
Come back...
You're not from around here.
This door is locked.
I'm glad you came to see me. I'm going to need your...
What does it...
As you may remember, Silvio told me about... Despite everything that's happened to that ship since sinking, it wasn't discovered. But she had so little trust that she wrote in code. I need to know what information it holds. It may give me...
Of course.
I need you to find someone who can
I'm at your service.
Thank you for your support. But we're already busy with another...
What does being a knot mean to you? I get the impression that when you talk about the knots, you talk about them as if they were your clan.
That's true. I don't know what being part of a clan means to you, but the Knots are my family. Quite literally, to begin with. After all, my family are Knots, but it's more than just our lineage. The sea, the ships, Huxantis, our knowledge of navigation, and even the rules that govern us are all a part of me. Part of my history. I'm proud to be a Knot. I'm proud to ride the waves. Even if I'm not always proud, of the things we agree to do on behalf of others. We're not really a people. The many Sea-Given who come from around the world are just as much Nods as I am. The thing that unites us is the belief that we share the sea. The sea is the bond we all share, and Ixantis is our home. I imagine it's an idea that must seem strange to an outsider.
Maybe a little. But your bond with and because of the sea reminds me of the bond we Donegada have with our island. No matter what clan we're from, we all share the same bond with the land of Tirfredi. We're all different, and the specific history of our clans makes us unique. Yet we also share a great deal of knowledge. Traditions that are handed down from generation to generation. And our land binds us together, creating a mutual understanding that's deeper than words. And a sense of belonging.
That's it. That's exactly it. I'm so happy you understand. There are so many people who only see us as merchants on ships. But I think we're much more than that.
Are you happy to have become the captain of the Constantia? That boat must mean a lot to you.
I'm happy to have recovered my mother's ship, even though, I admit, I had misgivings at first. After all, she did die at its helm. But when I reached it, I immediately felt a connection. And many memories came back to me. Happy memories of my childhood.
Tell me all about them.
Oh, I have so much to tell. I spent my very first years on this ship, you know? I climbed my first skylines here. I had small legs back then. It was difficult and painful. But when I got to the top, oh, what a view! I had the world at my feet, and I was so proud. Of course, my mother scolded me. I was too young and could have killed myself. But despite that, the feeling of touching the horizon, of being free as a bird, oh, it's something I'll never forget.
I won't bother you any.
Don't worry.
Welcome to the Fishing Merman.
Thank you.
Come back.
If I can be of any help.
I must leave you. See you.
Yes?
See you later.
Of course.
me the key to open this door.
Greetings, esteemed customers. Are you...
Were you here when the giant creature attacked?
Yes, I was here, and I'm not likely to forget it.
We're trying to track down the beast.
I haven't the faintest idea. Everyone was shouting and racing around in a panic. I ended up hiding inside a house and didn't come out until So, I can't really help you. But to be honest, I don't know why you want to find that monster. It's madness. Well, that's your business, isn't it? And if you're thinking of fighting it, you'll need potions and projectiles. Why don't you take a look at what I have in stock?
Hello? Do you live in this village?
Well, obviously I live here. Where else should I live?
I'd like to ask you a few questions about the beast attacks that occurred some time ago.
It was the worst day of my life, and probably the worst day for everyone here. But what's it to an islander? Does the beast have something to do with you? You go ahead, ask your questions. But this all seems a bit fishy to me.
Do you know where the creature went after the attack?
Why are you all so desperate to find this monster? Isn't all the death and damage it's done enough? Do you want more? I'll tell you what I told those scholars. I don't know where it went. I didn't see anything.
Scholars?
Some fellows from the city who are asking the same questions as you. They may think they're clever, but they're idiots if you ask me. Looking for that thing means running the risk of it coming back here, and we've had enough of that, thank you very much.
We shall leave now. Thank you for your welcome.
That's it. Goodbye.
Good day. Do you live in this village?
Yes, I've lived here all my life. Why?
Were you present during the attack of that giant creature a while back?
Unfortunately, yes. It was horrible. I still have nightmares about it.
Can you tell us what you saw? Do you know what happened to the creature?
Honestly, I'd rather not have to think back to that day. Everything was so confusing. It was dreadful. I remember I was fixing my damaged nets when I heard the first screams. Ooh, and that terrible roaring. I was so terrified that I crawled under my boat, which is probably what saved me. I peeked out every now and then, horrified by what I was hearing. I saw the monster knock some of my friends down with a single swipe as it chased after a man who jumped into a boat. When it didn't see any more movement, it headed southeast and even knocked down the arch there. Oh, it took us weeks to rebuild it and put the village back in order. And we're still mourning our dead.
I'm very sorry for your loss. Thank you for sharing your story with us. We will take our leave.
Goodbye.
Ugh, I can't do it. I don't have the key. missing something to make this work. We're missing something to make this work.
Happy to see you again.
Look, this camp is very close to the route taken by our guardian. We should search there. Maybe we'll learn something about it.
Let's show them what we're made of!
saviors have returned.
We're looking for a giant creature that came this way a while ago.
I pride myself on having excellent eyesight, despite the occasional bout of absent-mindedness.
Could you tell us?
You seem very intent.
We are.
In that case, I'm sorry, but if you can't give me a After all, you did squeeze every last coin out of me to help me out of a tight spot.
Here, take your money. Now will you tell us which way the beast...
Of course. It went right by my camp. And I admit I found... Nature can sometimes produce beauty, and other times hot. I was afraid. So I hid in the bushes.
That's where those mad bandits were holding...
Thank you.
You're...
These trucks were clearly left by the Guardian. It's very strange. It's as if it wanted to dig up the earth where that strange smelly substance was spilled. There is no doubt that the Guardian was here. But it was attacked, and apparently captured by Kurnaz's men, if the letters on those corpses are anything to go by.
The orders they were carrying said to bring it to a hidden cave, not far from the orchard to the west. We should go there and find the entrance, because I have to admit that their interest in this creature... We could dress up like workers. No one would notice us that way.
Ugh, I can't do it.
goes there. Let's show them what we're made of!
good anymore.
I don't know what they're up to in that cave with that creature, but it doesn't bode well. It must be important for them to go to the trouble of guarding the place like this.
Here's the Guardian. What's left of it, at least. Ugh, I can't do it. I can't do anything with this. I don't see how we could use this. This document doesn't say anything useful. I can't do anything with it.
Get us out of here!
There. You're free.
Thank you. I thought we were going to die trapped in that cave.
Wait a minute. I know who you are. You turned up at the camp the day before the Alliance attacked.
We did. And we were there when Ladan bound herself to the land and turned herself into a guardian.
I remember that. You even tried to fight her to hold her back. You were very brave. But the soldiers captured us while you were leading her away. Since then, they've done nothing but mistreat us and interrogate us to try to understand what happened.
They even tortured Adenegad. She eventually broke and told them about the bonding ritual. After more experiments, they took her away with them. We don't know what happened to her after that.
That's awful. Thank you for telling us. Now, you should get to safety. Don't stay here.
I know a place we can hide. Before we joined Laden and the others, I had found a cave further north. You have our heartfelt gratitude for freeing us. May the earth carry you always.
I don't believe it. Rather than being terrified or frightened by the transformation they experienced, they just saw it as a weapon of war. And now they want to force our people to perform the ritual again, so they can use it against their enemies. And of course, My people will be blamed for this.
We have to stop them from putting their insane plan into action. My country and my people are in danger. I don't have any political influence, but if we take this evidence to the Imperial Embassy in Peren, they might be able to do something.